Welcome back. So today I'm going to talk about writing it down. When I was growing up, and I don't know if this has something to do with honestly, if you ask me, I think what it is that, as we're children, we feel that we can go out and we can conquer the world. And the older that we get, the more we kind of have this feeling, of like I'm limitless. I can't be touched. The life will go on forever, blah, 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 blah. But I think what happens is that we kind of have this pure strength, and almost our naiveness helps keep us very strong and allows us to do things that we might not do as we get older because we become more cautious. But the one thing that we're lacking our experience. And because we're lacking that experience, we tend to kind of just say, "Oh, I'll figure it out on my own. I'm not going to trust in others that have done it before us." You kind of like think you work harder and not smarter. But the older you get, the more you realize that your elders, if they're telling you things, that it's actually a really good thing. So basically, what I'm saying is that my dad, you'll hear me talk about this a lot, throughout my videos, but my dad has been really influential with me, and he's told me stuff like, like when I would check out envisioning videos, stuff like that. These are all the stuff that he told me as a young kid, and I said, whatever, that old man doesn't know what he's talking about. But slowly but surely, it's weird. I feel like the deeper I get into my 30s and the closer I get into my 40s, the more all of these things that he kind of put into my subconscious and was telling me, it's like, well, gosh, maybe he does know what he's talking about, and they really do kind of almost come to fruition, and I start wanting to do more of it. So for like example, like he always said, you're always gonna, even when you get out of school, I hated school. And he always said, when you get out of school, the learning never stops. And I said to myself, forget that. I'm gonna learn. I'm gonna stop learning the minute that I'm done with school. I don't have to ever learn anything else again. But really, the older I get, the more I really enjoy knowledge and learning and reading all of these incredible things like Think and Grow Rich and The Challenger Sale and Good to Great and The Secret and The Power and all of this stuff, kind of like, the genre of what I talk about on my videos. So today, long story short, kind of getting to the point here, Sean, is I want to talk about writing it down. Writing it down, I think, is incredibly powerful. And one of the reasons I want to talk about this is because my dad told me when I was younger, just write it down. And I was like, whatever, he doesn't know what he's talking about. But the more you listen to these thought leaders, your Bob Proctors, your Tony Robbins, your fill in the blanks, they all say write it down. And I think what happens is as we write it down, and especially as we kind of not only write it down, but review this over and over and over, the more it kind of sits in our subconscious mind, the more that we focus on it, and the easier it is to manifest those things. So you probably have heard throughout, like wherever, I mean, I don't fill in the blank of where you heard it, but you probably heard about somebody talking about how they wrote something down and they shoved it in a drawer, or they wrote it down when they were a kid, or they wrote it down when they were in college, whatever the case might be. And then they come back to it, they stumble upon it, maybe they're cleaning out a drawer and they say, oh, what is this? And they pull out that thing and it says, I will be fill in the blank. And they are. And not only are they, but they have become so much more than what they actually wrote down on that piece of paper. And what I'm saying is, write it down. I mean, I've been there. I've done that. You probably have even stories of yourself of being able to do that. I think by writing it down, it literally is like us writing in our PO, our PO, or order form, whatever those things are called, being able to really essentially order that, kind of like you would order something, in a catalog and writing your check or whatever the case might be. By writing it down, it sits in your brain, it sits in your subconscious. Your subconscious kind of basically, it's like you just asking, the universe, if you will, for what it is that you want. So if I had listened to my dad many, many years ago, I probably would have been a lot further along where I was at. But the thing is, I didn't have the experiences to be able to look back on that. And now as I have my own son, and he's about 7. I'm trying to push as much of this stuff into his subconscious, and I know he's thinking, whatever, man, you don't know what you're talking about. But really, it's, our fathers and their fathers' fathers and their fathers' fathers' fathers and our mothers too, and, all of these people in our lives. Really listen to them and take into account all of the knowledge that they're handing you, because they're making it a lot easier for you to be able to kind of get the things that you want in your life, because they've been there, they've done that, they have the experience. So the next thing that you really, really want, I challenge you, is to write it down. I want this sports car. I want this girl, or I want this guy, or whatever the case might be. Write it down on a piece of paper and fold it away and put it away somewhere that maybe you'll find that some other day, and see if that comes true. If you've had anything like this, if you could comment down below and really kind of share your story and talk about what it is that that you wrote down and really became true, so others can see of how important the manifestation is if you write it down. If you like our videos, if you could please subscribe to Patrick Consulting Group Inc., Dental Consultants, or if you give us a thumbs up, both would be even better. We really appreciate it, because it helps us make a lot more of these videos for you guys. Thanks so much for tuning in again. Until next time, have an awesome day.